Hello and welcome. I thought I'd actually do a little bit of testing within this Let's Play because I was just thinking, as a modder, you don't always, no one gives you the rule book of like, this is the best way to do it, not even Giants. A lot of things you have to figure out yourself. Now, all of these new models have got 3 XML files that they load, which is the standard production, and the second one, the Bionic, and the third one, the Super. So I wondered, now I presume that it only loads one of those at a time, but does it? So what I've done is I've made changes to all 3 so they all reflect exactly the same elements, which by what I mean is I've switched flour off now. We shouldn't have any other than rice flour. There shouldn't be. Well, why is it still showing flour then? Oh, because I didn't switch off the cake. Right, okay, so the cake still. Well, we're not. Again, though, this is. Now that is strange because it shouldn't know what that is. I've actually removed that from the storage. Wow, does it say that error, though? No? Now that is strange because I've removed flour, the normal flour there, from the entire storage on all 3 XMLs of this particular one, on all 3 Bionics and everything. So the Bionic mill likewise shouldn't recognise normal flour. No, it doesn't. Now that doesn't. So if we're thinking this is producing the flour, then this is the real problem. As in, like, I've switched off the mill producing standard flour. It only produces the special icon, which is mine. So there is no flour in this one. So this one, no, it's true. I didn't switch that one off because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about the flour, but it does matter about it being pushed to it and it making flour from that type. And then what did we have to do? I think we have to shift. We'd got we'd split the mineral feed, so that's now 250,000 litres. Were we in a dangerous place with any? Don't think we were. Yeah, the flour, eggs. But we've got some more eggs that we need to shift. We're going to do this properly. The potatoes are going down. The carrot broth. There's only so the pig food is still probably got enough for another day. Potato broth is now gone again. So potatoes, we want to shift 100,000 litres from. No, you're the little one. They're down here, I think, somewhere. The 2 that we got, which you were one of them. Right, so this is the biggie. Let's just do it with this. Let's get this done. Yeah, I'm just sort of doing some tests now. I did a little bit of tweaking on my cow barn. I'm trying to make the board have told me off, as I said in last session, and I've literally got to it, and I've literally gone and changed it completely. So it still looks a bit grungy. The concrete is now a unique concrete type, but a lot of the other textures, I did want to do a nice stone texture, but it doesn't suit it, so I've left it wood as it was originally, the Horman, the medium cow barn. So I've literally done it myself, but like I've done it in a completely different way. So let's grab these potatoes out. We need those going. 100 litres into that, and then at least that's going to make the 60. No, we do want that. That is going to, we want to take that out. That's the last thing we want. We just want to like push this. I just can't believe it's all the way to July. I don't think I've ever had a Let's Play that's like, but I'm not surprised. We did have a lot on this, as we can see. So yeah, we'll stick this in here. It's nice to see all these working. And I think of all the times that I was struggling to unload things on these just because I'd got my model a little wrong. And that's what I'm saying. As a modder, you do like turn corners, but you've also got to do a bit of testing to see, do I know this as well as I think I do? Have I got all the rules right in my head that I've got? And obviously you really want the answer to this question to be yes, so we're going to do all of these as well. We'll grab the last couple of tons and stick them in. So we shouldn't be making any more normal flour in the original, because it doesn't know, the mill doesn't know what flour is anymore. I've taken it away from it. I've commented it out, which is a trick that you do because I do want it to work with normal flour too, for like, although I think if you were going to change flour, you'd probably change it. I was thinking this when I was doing this episode earlier. I was thinking, yeah, but surely what I'm trying to do is replace flour, still flour. It's no different. It's just that it's bigger capacity pallets. Yeah, I wish you could just say use bigger pallets, but you can't. You have to sort of trick the game. That's why a lot of people choose unique field types, is because you can muck around. Well, not only that, but that's one reason, and it's one reason why I've done it, why we've got unique field types deliberately. Right, so we've done that. We have done that. We've got the 40 tons here, which it does show you, so that's also fine. So we should now have enough room to do the last push. Now our animals should be, we're gonna like jump into that. No, we do want, actually, yeah, that's true. The other thing we need to do is grab the eggs. We'll grab some eggs. It's going down very little. It's just that it will make a bit of room. I mean, wow, seriously, is that how many eggs we've got this time? Even after we like shifted all that lot last time. That is tremendous. It's stacking them on top of each other. Now, the one thing I do wonder about terrain, if terrain mucks around with things like this, does it... I mean, that is a lot of eggs. So that's what we're producing on a daily basis, because we shifted this like yesterday, so... We'll stick these on top like that, and then we'll do another pile right next door, so we can grab 2 stacks of about 3 or 4, that's what I'm thinking, and then we'll crack on. We are here for another, like, this is another session, so let's get working, is all I'm going to say. Right, are we doing a time lapse? I don't think it's enough left to time lapse. I mean, what I mean is, I think it's just going to be a session, so let's just crack on a normal time and chat about this fantastic map and leave all of the giants and problems and all the rest of it, and, you know, like, it is what it is. Yeah, they are who they are, and that really is as simple as that. It's, yeah. I apologise for going to go high a little bit than I really should do. Can we just grab one of those? We can, and then we'll stick that 4 high on both stacks for once, just because we're taking this. I don't want it to take forever, and I don't want to like go all the way up to the top to grab like the... Well, I suppose we have got more than one. We could have done this really with another way, but sometimes you're trying to do things quick. It doesn't always work out as quick as you think. C'est la vie. I'll be careful here, or I'm going to like make a mess of this. It's so easy. Yeah, so and that's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's a bit of a stack of dominoes, isn't it? Really, the domino effect. Let's try and grab half of this like that. And then we'll grab the other half. Oh, somehow I'm getting the ground. It's the trouble with it being uneven, isn't it, really? Yeah, I'm quite like my chicken sort of thing. It's sort of got the effect of the grunginess, you know, like being sort of claimed materials, as I'm trying to aim for with BI Industries. You can't sort of... Well, I personally think if you're going for reasonably sort of cheap, as in like you're trying to do something that is cheap, you've got to have it like that. What I mean is, if you're going to produce a Horman and you're going for a really snazzy looking building, then it's got to look really snazzy. And if you're going for a reclaimed materials, it's got to look reclaimed. And that's what I'm trying to aim for, that happy medium. I'm also probably going to do a pretty one for those who want the building to look nice, but you know, wanting to pay a bit more for one that really isn't so grungy. You know, like, I mean, that it bothers you, because I know that obviously it does bother some people. So I'm trying to please everybody. Oh, okay. Oh, we'll have filled it. Yeah, it's not that it's not working. It's that it was close to being filled, so it will go in the morning. I think. Let me just show that I am right. In the cannery with Suit Factory, it's that the eggs are now full. That is exactly right. So let's go through till tomorrow morning, and I did want to go buy the chickens, but I've moved again, so it'd be interesting to see how much we get. Mind you, we did leave some eggs as well. That I would have liked to have seen how from totally scratch how many eggs do we get? But yeah, it's a lot now. It really is. Now that they're all adults. I mean, we're selling chickens. It's a good little business. I mean, wow. And because you obviously sell your excess chickens as well now with that fantastic mod, which I really do love that. It's a very good idea and it's realistic as well. Let's have a look. How much do we get? Oh my life, a lot. It is. Wow, that increases that. Now on a flats thing, I think this would be in a much better place. I think it stretches things with the terrain. And these are things I'm trying to talk about when that you realise how the game works a little bit. It sometimes, you know, like shows you. I don't know how much we will have 17,000. Yeah, we will have. We got any left? A little. Right. So then, let's have a look. How well did we do on our productions overnight? So the flour hasn't gone up. In this, at least, the Bionic Bakery should have. Now that is a point. I didn't see what that was like. And if we switch that off, that shouldn't be going up anymore because it's not. It doesn't exist. Now that's my point. The Bionic Bakery. No, it does. We just said that. Yeah, the cakes. We left it on in the bakery. It's the mill that it won't. It shouldn't show flour because there is no flour in there. So oats at 68,000 litres still. So that's a bit annoying. The corn we've finished that, we know that. So it's just the oats. It is going down. So that must have been 80 odd tons or something silly. So the Bionic Bakery, it's got 27,000 litres and has got how much bread? Now it will have done some more. It seems to be doing about 10 tons per evening, which doesn't seem too terrible. But it's because, yeah, it is, because it had 2 already. No, I think we pushed them actually all down there, so in a way, ooh. Yeah, let's take some of the eggs anyway. And we've also created plenty. This is now redoing again, so that'll be just potatoes if we look. Oh no, it's not noodles as well, yeah, my bad. Potatoes and a bit of parsnip. It finished the parsnip. I didn't think we've got any left. How can it be doing parsnip? We looked and there was no parsnips left. Did it find a few litres? Because we shouldn't have any. Or did we have a little tiny bit of parsnips? Or maybe we had 1 box left and I had. No, I don't think we did. But yeah, I'm going to confuse myself. Pig food's going up. I think it'll survive 1 more night. Potatoes are going down, but not by a lot. This is going to take a while, isn't it? It really isn't. It's not terribly quickly. Now, how about the oats in this? 49,900 and something litres. Mineral feed is right up to 300. We might think we'll survive 1 more month again. It's. I suppose it does. This is one thing I said. It is a good business, this particular one, because the mineral feed is drawing from quite a bit. The stones are a minimal impact, but the straw and the oats are equal. So it's sort of like, yeah, drawing from the huge amount of straw we've got. So what I'm saying is you get 2,000 litres. So it is stretching that oats quite a long way. That's the expensive product, and everything else is sort of either we can buy the digestate or the stones, or we did well with the straw anyway. So this is drawing from 2 products that we've actually got. Well, so the stones as well, it multiplied them. So that was also legit, even though we bought some, we'd got a shed load anyway. So really that's, again, and that's why the oats are only going down a little rather than a lot, because it's only using that as a quarter of the thing to make a lot. So it is a very good business, which I did recognise when I was doing it. I wasn't trying to pretend or anything like that. So again, if we go through till tomorrow, then we should see everything go. So let's just fix in our minds how well this is doing. So we've got no flour in here, and we've got 26,000 litres of that kind of flour. That flour shouldn't go down, so we should see 102,775 still in the morning. That's what I'm waiting to see. Our flour, I don't care about. Potatoes, 120,000 litres. Let's go through tomorrow. we're almost through a year of like doing this to get rid of the produce, which is a phenomenal place to be. I mean, it's all good because it's all earning cash, and I want it to be accurate. I've never left a Let's Play yet where it's been accurate. Right, so we know that fire started on field 13. Ooh, we've not seen any of this yet, have we? Where is field 13? I would like to go and have a look at this, because I've never seen it. What actually happens? Well, I think the fire's been put... Oh, it hasn't. Ooh, so I think what you've got to do, obviously we don't own it, so we can't do a thing about it. But this could happen to us too, and it's nice to see that it's actually working. Brilliant. Well, there you go. So if this was our field, we'd now have to rush to this and start to... I can't remember what it said. I think you have to plough it. So you'd have to plough it out. So you're going to take some damage if you do that. So really, it's quite interesting to see this. This is a lack of moisture. It's really quite amazing. Right, so then, how have we done today? Let's have a look this morning then. So the potatoes have gone down 20 odd tons. So that means we would be here for 5 more months if we're doing the potatoes. The eggs are going down very little. 49,000 litres flour. That's, again, the noodle soup doesn't use that much, does it? It's again, the noodle soup. Now, this is mainly Giants. It's almost a Giants recipe. 55 flour, 10 eggs, 45 and 20 pig foods. Yeah, 55, 65, 45, 65. Yeah, all adds up nicely. That's exactly what it should be doing. So the parsnip soup, this should be all gone now, I believe. Oh, 308 litres. That's why it's still carrying on a little bit. So then, have we got still 102? You see, that's gone up. We had 102. Now we've got 104. So where's the additional flour coming from, is my point. Yeah, so let's have a quick look and see, has it produced more bread? It should have done, as we saw last time, really. So it should. If we see... It is as well. Yeah, it's definitely producing more of the bread. Or did we shift it this time? I meant to. Let's just do this again. Oh, wrong one. So now the chickens, the eggs are nearly all gone out of the lot that we brought. So we need to remind them that actually gravity does exist in this universe. So let's shift this so we can go through to... I can't believe this, we're right through the year. We're almost... I mean, to me, it looks like we're going to almost get to, like, next year in trying to deal with last year's crop. And, well, all of the remnants of all of the years, really. So if we stick this... Like, oh, I keep catching the edge of the... Yeah, I've got me chevron slightly wrong. I shouldn't really be doing this to myself. It's my own silly fault, because I've like done the chevrons a bit too close to the body of the building, so that's my fault. Let's grab that and let's move those two. So actually, in the morning we can see how many of these we actually get. You know, we don't really care about. They don't have to be exact, because actually, the times they even start check can now see them wherever they are, which is quite an amazing thing that it's doing. Right, so then. We can see that somehow we're getting extra flour, which we shouldn't be getting, so it's quite amazing. Now the bread flour is corn flour, that can be switched off, because we know we've used all the corn flour. So we're just only producing bread flour from my flour, from either the special flour 1 as I call it, and this one has only got potatoes left, 103. Is that going up? Is that? Oh, no, it's going down. That's all right. And the mill has got how much? Oh, 65,000 litres. So how much will that go down by the morning? It's 9 o'clock. Yeah. I never thought for 1 minute we'd be going this far into this year. I think we're almost going to get through to next year to literally deal with this particular amount of produce we've got. I thought, it looks like to me when I've got this sort of problem that I need to do... Let's have a look, see how we're doing. So then, oats are 62,000 litres still. We did have a lot though, it is true. So, and the Bionic Bakery... It's 106,000 litres now, and that flour is also going up to deal with the bread. So it's not keeping up with the flour. It's almost like we could have done with a super bakery, really. This is where the upgrading factory mod really did come in useful, because you could upgrade a couple just to sort of do this, to sort of see how you were going to do. So 7,000 pig feed now. How about you? I bet you're getting filled with you are. So the mineral feeds, how much have we got down? Why are there 55,000 litres of potatoes again in the self-sufficiency? We know I took all of that out. Has it shifted it from this? Or is it multiplying? It is multiplying. That's gone down, but that has definitely... We put 100 tonnes and left no potatoes in there at all. This proves my point. Even productions are broken, because that's nothing to do with the production silo. It's not even using that. It's just using the power productions to push things around. We've not told that. So we've not shifted that. You've seen what I've done. As in, like, I've not stopped recording. You could watch this second by second and realise I've not done anything. And that's got 55,000 litres of potatoes. This proves the game is broken, as I sort of said. It sort of means everything you're doing is not accurate anymore, which means... I might have finished a long time ago already. It's a bit ridiculous. So I think we're going to call it, because how can you play this and accurately predict what you were doing and what you're not, when you can see that the game has just added 55,000 litres of potatoes from nowhere, and we've now got 155,000 litres of potatoes because the game's multiplied them. And I mean, we can see that there's flour going through that shouldn't even exist, because it's not even switched on in the mill that makes flour. So why is it going up then in the bakery? Why is this one creeping up by about 2 or 3 tonnes per day? It was 102, that was 100, and now it's 106. Where's the flour coming from when this isn't making that kind of flour? It doesn't even exist in this mill, which means it's coming from somewhere else, which means it's doing what we've seen before. Like, this is like multiplying and going into that. The game's broken. It really is as simple as that. So why is the noodle soup not working now? Because it's got flour and it's got eggs. What is your problem? Flour and eggs. So why are you... Oh, it's run out of space, and it literally is saying I'm out of space. So pig food is full. Right, okay, so then, all things considered, because this is not fair, so what I mean is I could go on and on and on forever, and I'd be getting more and more and more and more, and I can't deal with that. So we're going to call it now, what we've got on hand, and it's still causing into question cheating and stuff like that. And not that I've cheated, but what I mean is you're like, well, what did I really do? Because the game's sort of making things go more. So we're going to go on what we've got, because otherwise it's going to go on forever. I mean, Gordon Bennett. So, in total, we really have got what we've got. And you've got to ask yourself the question, well, what have we really got? What did we really do? Because the game is obviously cheap. I don't know how to deal with this, because this is productions that obviously FS22 and FS25 was all about. And I'm doing productions, and they're cheating. They're literally making things grow between themselves. If something else has got potatoes in the ingredients, they bleed into that thing, and they shouldn't do that. It's ridiculous. And that's a Giants thing. We have no control over that as modders. It literally is. How can you sort of predict that a potato's going to grow? Because again, this is one thing that I did know even in FS22, and kept on doing by mistake quite a few times. And it was to do with how close productions are to each other. They share storage. Is it that? Is it that? And again, it shouldn't be a thing. But is it that? What I mean is, I think, but this, let's be honest, how many maps do production slabs where you're supposed to put your productions close together? Well, if this works is the way that I'm thinking it does, if you've got two productions that have both got potatoes, it's going to share the potatoes, and it doesn't just share them, it multiplies them in some way. We saw this on the very first episode on I was going to say Elm Creek, but it's not Elm Creek. It's, yeah, the American map. When I did that, I put a production right near the silo, and it multiplied the amount of oats we'd got, and it suddenly was hundreds of tons. Well, we saw it before my very eyes that it did work like that. Well, that's not right. And I couldn't undo it either, because I did try. As in, like, if you move it, it already says it's there. It's already in the storage. Or, well, did I? No, I don't think I did move it. But if you do, what I mean is that shouldn't be a thing, but it is. So what I'm trying to say is, as a player, it's like now that I've got to have not my productions close together. Well, that's a bit bad, because most maps do production slabs. The other thing is, there's no, like, range finder that, like, I need to put this outside of this range. How do I know how far enough is right? We can see it's working like that. So that would mean that because this has got potatoes, the fact that it has got storage for potatoes, that this here that has got all of our potatoes in is sharing its storage with that. Even though it's ticked inside the mod to say do not share storage, it is sharing storage. So the game sort of switches that on. So it would mean that I would have to always stick anything with the same thing in, like bread or flour or whatever, if it's the same and it's got a similar, like, in fact, yeah, the other thing is, that's true, never thought of that. This has got flour in it. If that's close enough, then that's going to share its flour with this, the bakery. And I think if you look at how close those two are, they're sharing, then these two are too. Which means these four productions, where they overlap, they are all playing with each other, and it's multiplying the things. Not in the way that it did on... I can't remember the American map's name. Isn't that amazing? Where it's his Friday again, so it's one of them things. My brain's always terrible. What's its name? Anyway, that one. So that's what's happening. So we're never going to get to the end of this, because it's going to multiply, because they're all together. Now, I'm going to do a bit of testing on this to prove that I'm right, but I'm not going to do it right now. Yeah, but as in, like, on this Let's Play, we're going to finish. So what we're going to do is, with not any degree of accuracy at all, we can't really do much about it. So we've got 1,400, which means half again, which is 700. So that's 2.1 million we've got in euros there in total, and we've got 4 million there. So we have done 6.2 million. 6.2 million. So we beat Oak Bridge slightly, but bearing in mind we've been here a lot longer, but also this element of cheating that's going on through things being like similar, with similar overlapping products. It's sort of something to be aware of, but there's no press release about this and no warning from Giants, don't put your productions too close together, because we know that they actually act like this, but we can see that they actually do. So I'd like to go to the very limit with this and do a bit of testing just to prove that I'm right, but not here now. So yeah, I'm going to leave this. I might use this map though to actually do the testing when this is finished, because obviously this is the last episode. So 6.2 million is what we finished with, if you add what we've got in here totally, and also the 50% bonus we would get if we sold it all, which is obviously the pre-mice, and we've got the BA Industry Sales Marketing as it says, so that is what we would actually get, which is amazing. And again, me as a human being is now, I've got a massive question mark, because I like accuracy. Well, I can't be accurate, because this, how long have these been feeding off each other? How long have they been multiplying? And that's the question. I didn't ever want to cheat. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't know until this minute when we're discussing it that I'm figuring it out and thinking, that is working as I'm thinking it does. It is actually multiplying and growing. And then it's sort of, you put two and two together and think about the beginning on, I keep wanting to call it Elm Creek, but yeah, the American map on this, where we first saw this happen, where I first had that sinking feeling and thought, oh no, it's still doing some weirdness with having storage next to a production still doing something strange. And obviously, I mean, yeah, we haven't got any. Well, we have got this storage, but this is No, it is any kind of storage that does it. So, but we've not got anything in here. A bit of straw, a bit of potatoes, a bit of lime, and we've got 46 tons of carrots, so we could have actually stuck in there. We're going to class it. It is what it is. Yeah, okay, we missed that one thing. It's a bit annoying. So yeah, so really going forwards, unless you want the storage to be sort of classed as like additional storage for this, which that's possible to do, but don't use it, then that's not a bad way to make the storage inside one of these bigger. But apart from that, you don't ever want to use one of these with stuff in it, because it's going to store that like to everything close by. So but you also, as we've seen, the other thing is we found out that if you've got productions with similar overlapping products, like we've seen the potatoes is the obvious one. We've really seen that. I emptied every last, we had 100,000 litres in here, I moved it all to there. It was going down in that because we saw it doing it, like how much it went down per month. So it was going down in, and then all of a sudden we come back to here and we've got 55,000 litres. Well, where on earth did we get 55,000 litres from? I never put them in there. We all saw what I did. I emptied it to the very last bit. I even went back a third time to get the 5 odd tons into sticking here, so it was empty. So the only thing that's got potatoes left was this. In it had 100 odd tons. Well, it's got 89, so it's used 11, but then it's put 55,000 litres back in there. It speaks for itself. It really is that bad. So yeah, it's with a very heavy heart that I leave the Let's Play, because I can't honestly say that actually that's where we should be, but that's out of my control. It's just that I think going forwards I'm going to have to go with this knowledge and keep productions away. That reminds me of Polenye too. No, I'm lucky on Polenye that everything that I've got in the little corner where we've got 4 productions, there's only the mill and the bakery that obviously, which they work together anyway, that have actually got anything similar. The grapes and oils has got completely different ingredients, and the rope factory likewise has got completely different ingredients. So that's not going to play off itself. That's going to just work normally. So it's this way you've got things that are like the same, where you've got potatoes and the storage is close to that. It bleeds into things that are close. So I need to like basically separate my productions. The trouble is I've got to drill this into my head that works like that, because there's no thing from Giants that this is actually how it works. And obviously we get production slabs where all of your productions go. So yeah. Well, for the very last time on Risoux Forest, with, as I say, a heavy heart that everything is not working to plan, and that we certainly really don't know where we did finish because of this misnomer of the game itself. But again, out of my control, so I apologise. Yeah, I, for my part, tried to do my utmost. Going forwards, I'm going to try to drill this in that I need to separate similar things. And again, it's going to mean that I need to spend more on land or keep my productions away from each other if they're similar. And that's a bit of a pain, because I often work on the edge of fields on a start from scratch. You know, your field becomes your farmyard, so it really is going to produce little clumps of productions in little areas all over the farm to try to separate them, and you've got to figure out how far too far is and how far too close is before they actually are feeding off each other. That's something else you've got to figure out that Giants are not telling you, because this is not a thing according to Giants, or we've actually seen it. Oh yes, it is. We've just seen this actually work in that exact way. So, yeah, massive shout out to JMGaming. Thank you for this fantastic map. Looking forward to carrying on Oak City, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. It's a beautiful map, and we've moved on that. We've done a completely separate on the real map. We've gone to a start from scratch, and already we're beginning to show some promise, even though it's hard economy. So I'm quite happy about that. So, for the very last time, massive shout out to you, the viewers, that make it all worthwhile. I'm not talking to myself. I don't care the fact that the channel's only got a few watchers. I'm resigned to the fact that I'm obviously Marmite, my personality. But for those of you who do put up with me, Kevin especially, and all of those who watch the channel, I don't care if there's only 30 people watching. I'm still carrying on, because the fact is you're watching, and that's all that really matters to me. Never really, I'm not bothered if I'm massive or all the rest of it. It just bothers me that I'm trying to produce content and that you're still watching, so it's got to be all right. I do ask for you though, if you could, feedback. I'm going to actually what I did for Around the World in 80 Days. I did the form. I'm going to put links on all of the Let's Plays anonymously, that you can actually put things you'd like to see done differently, things that I annoy you with and all that type of stuff, or things that you'd like to see me do positively too, not just, but it gives you a way anonymously to tell me what you don't like and what you do like, what you would like to see, or ideas that you've got for the channel, direction, storylines, whatever you like. I am all ears. So yeah, I'm going to put the jot form back on, and it's going to be a link where you can click on the link and anonymously, you don't need to put an email address down or anything. You can just go on, fill in what you like, and I'm going to police it and have a look at it. But again, massive shout out to you, the viewers, that make it all worthwhile. So for the very final time, I'm going to say goodbye for now. Hello and welcome. Right, I don't very often do this, but this was really bugging me on Risoux Forest. So I've gone to the save game backup a couple of times ago, because we've had the potatoes for months. So I thought, let's just prove this. I really want to go into the XML. I want to see how many potatoes did we really have, so that I can, in my mind, know that I am right, and that this is just, as I said, a bit of a multiplication issue with the game itself being very badly far wrong, really, to be honest. And I am right, but I'm going to show you. I know I could have cheated, and I could have ripped this off, and it is true. But I could always cheat by showing you me going in genuinely at the beginning, but really I've gone in already, and but I suppose anybody who's watched the channel knows I've got to be honest, it really got under my skin. I hate cheating. There's no point. It's a game. I'm really not bothered, but I am bothered when it bakes your noodle, when you're thinking, well, am I right? Did I really secretly have some in the production side? I was thinking all of these thoughts, and I thought to myself, literally just come off of, I thought, why don't you prove it to yourself? You've moved the save, you've backed that up. You could go into that, but I thought, well, why not go a little bit further back? Because you've had those potatoes finished for quite a while. They've been sticking, and obviously the autosave does regular, so you don't have many in your save backups. So this is going back a little bit, but not too far, because they don't save that many anyway. So this is, as you can see, save game backup, save game 2, which really is Risoux Forest. I don't know if it actually says that anywhere on this. There is in a way. No, there is. If I just go into, this is save game backup, save game 2. If I go into career save game, it tells you at the top what it is. So it's Risoux Forest. Yeah, it is save date 2025-06-05. So that would be yesterday, to be honest. So the potatoes, we saw 155,000 litres in the placeables. So if we search for potatoes from the very top, there's a bit of faffing around. I just wanted to validate this. Let's go to the very top and start from the top. There's going to be a bit of faffing, because obviously, yeah, it's going to show us things that I really don't want to show you, because there's going to be potatoes in other places too. Yeah, that is a few of these field type potatoes received, paid, and all that type of stuff. So we want to go past this lot a little bit. I've been through this already, but I wanted to just show you every single mention of potatoes, so you can see exactly how much we actually really had. Yeah, 84,345 doesn't sort of show me. I think this is a It doesn't tell you what this is in, so I'm thinking this is like a roundup for the farm. It also tells you the unique ID, which this is useful because I've actually looked at this before, and I realise now why sometimes if I do the small cannery down here and I've not realised that it's already got a unique ID here, if I place a new one down, you'll notice it's got this here. So if I place a new one down, it doesn't match this up here. So it's given me a little bit of an inkling on how this actually works, but that's a by the by. So we've got in total potatoes 84,345. Now we saw 100,000 in the self-sufficiency. We saw that because I moved it. So we then put that in and it went down to 86,000, and then obviously later on, which the recordings like start to finish and the clock is at the top. The only time the clock ever goes is if you are inside the thing, which you can see me go in, and I'd have to be very clever to actually do it. Not impossible, but again, I'm not that bothered about it. It is a game. So we only had 84,345 potatoes in total. If we go down to the next mention of it, it will literally, show you the soup cans potato that are being made. Potato only had 10,995 in that particular storage of the small cannery Mark III. That's all it had in to begin with. And that is where that mentions it. Potato soup. And then potato is enabled, true. Potatoes 86.710167. That's 86 litres, 700. I don't get why there are 6 digits after the end of everything, but it's obviously a format that Giant follows all of the time. Or is it 1,000 litres? Because we had a lot of stone that was cheating. Is that dot really meaning it's like thousands of litres, in which case it's fibbing, because up there it only said there was 84. So again, it is a little confusing, but potatoes fill level is 3,322. It's got to be 3,322, hasn't it? It really has, because that's 28,766, which was the corn harvest incomplete when we got that left in and we put that in. Now the straw's not the total, but it is like what's in there. So if we go down to the next mention of potatoes, it then goes right back to the beginning. So you can see that actually we only had 84,000 litres of potatoes in this Let's Play at that time. I'm going to leave it there. I just felt that I really needed, for my own sanity, to actually do a check. And I shall tag this on to the end of the last episode of Risoux Forest. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Yeah.